Welcome to Screen Weens!
Welcome. Back from a 2-week hiatus.
Wow!
Or I guess it'd be like a 1 week hiatus.
1 week just felt really long. Because I think we also were recording this one kind of late. And then we recorded last one, I think, a little earlier. So it's been years.
It's been a minute.
Episode 136, though, we're going to be talking about One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Hi-yo, hey-yo.
What?
Hey-yo, hi-yo.
Are you trying to do the ya-yo, ya-yo?
Yeah, hey-yo, yeah-yo.
Ya-yo, ya-yo. Dreamin'.
Don't give it up, Billy.
Dreamin'.
Don't give it up, Jimbo.
Dreamin'.
I love to eat pie.
There you go.
So, lots of stuff's been happening. Lots of movies I've watched. But I got some really bad news about, like, movie things lately.
Mm-hmm.
Sion Sono, who was my favorite film director, it came out that he sexually abused a lot of women. So, obviously no longer my favorite film director.
I knew there was a reason I didn't like his movies.
Yeah.
No, obviously.
So that was pretty rough. I was really angry, and I'm still angry, pretty angry, but like, it's just pretty sad. I'm also pretty upset. I wasn't going to mention anything if we were recording last week because I didn't really think it was my place to say anything about this whole like Will Smith Oscar situation.
Oh.
What I will say is it's completely blown out of proportions. He was like, he cannot go for 10 years. People are like, he needs to rescind his award. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit.
They're child molesters.
Yeah, I'm like, they gave Roman Polanski an Oscar after he fled the country. Like, this is...
They didn't need to take back his award or kick him out of the academy or anything.
I mean, like, it wasn't
maybe there's a case for that, but they would have to retroactively go back and
kick out all... like, this is racism. Like, this is... and it's racism under the guise of, like, we're holding up our integrity. I'm like, no, you're not. The Oscars have never been this, like, thing with integrity.
I honestly... had no fucking idea the Oscars were going on.
This gave more publicity than anything that actually happened with the Oscars.
I was at my D&D group, and Jordan was just like, Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock. And I was like, really? Huh. Interesting. And then we all watched the video, and we were like, huh. Yeah. And, it wasn't a good situation. It's like...
Yeah, but I was just like, it's not that, it was not a huge deal then, and it's like, this is stupid. Yeah,
the news is, like, every news outlet that, like, I came across was talking about it nonstop, and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Who cares? There's a war going on
I'm like,
right
seriously, we should not be, like, literally, this was a non-issue. Like, the only reason I'm talking about it now is, like, how disgusting I am, like, the response to it.
And we're a movie podcast.
Yeah. So I was going to be like, hey, this happened. It's kind of funny. No.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, no, I'm like, that was fucking gross. But let's talk about good things. Good things that happened. I saw 3 movies in the theater the other day. Just triple feature. I watched Uncharted finally. And you know what? It was actually okay. Pretty much everyone in it is really trying their hardest, and then Mark Wahlberg's just kind of standing there. Yeah, he's terrible in it. And there's some bad dialogue here and there, but it was much more watchable than I expected. Another thing that fucking surprised the hell out of me, I liked Sonic 2.
Yeah.
And this has been coming from me hating Sonic 1.
I remember.
But Sonic 2, I'm like, I like it.
Yeah,
maybe it's because, like...
I hear it sticks pretty, like, close to, like, what Sonic actually is or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it's closer to the source material. I feel like Idris Elba puts, like, so much drama into his performance as Knuckles that it's, like, so unironically great to watch. In general, it's, like, a huge step up from the first one. And, like, I like the set pieces in it. There's, like, really nice lighting. I think, like, I feel like so much of the visual effects of the first one were just like, oh no, we have to fix it. We have to fix it. While this one is like, oh, we know these designs we're rolling with. We're gonna like actually make things look cool.
Can you imagine the alternate universe where they never fixed the designs, but we still got the sequel?
It would have been better.
Yeah,
because then everyone else would also look like some horrible monster. And then I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I don't even know what that.
You don't know what that? It's the highest rated movie on Letterboxd.
I've honestly fallen out of the movie scene.
It's directed by the Daniels. Their previous film was Swiss Army Man. Mm-hmm. It's with Michelle Yeoh. And what is his name? I keep forgetting. Hold on. The guy who played Short Round and Data in The Goonies.
Okay.
He hasn't been in anything in a very long time.
Despite meme culture beliefs that are... God, I hated those memes. Where it's like, did you know that Short Round played Glenn in The Walking Dead? And it's just like... Ugh.
And I'm like, no, you're just very racist.
Yeah.
No, and there's been a bunch of interviews recently where he's like, I never stopped auditioning. Like, it's just... People didn't want to hire, like, an Asian American actor. Mm-hmm. But he was talking about, like, Crazy Rich Asians came out. And he's like, look at this cast of, like, all Asian Americans. He's like, I need to get back into this. And this was, like, one of the first roles he booked. Mm. And he's like the main like male lead in that movie. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this is one of the best movies I have seen in years. It's so good. It's a multiverse movie, but it's a multiverse movie.
Oh, is it the one with like the googly eyes that I've been seeing?
Yeah.
People? Okay. Yeah.
It's so funny, but it's like really like heartfelt. It's like it's a multiverse movie using it as a delivery vehicle for a story of generational trauma, one of those things, my favorite type of trauma in movies. It's so good. I loved every second of it. I really want to see it again. Incredible. So, and then, that made me feel better about the whole Sion Sono situation, because I'm like, as much as like, there's these horrible people that I'm like, oh, I love their movies, and then I find out they're horrible, they're still great people. Mm-hmm. That are making movies for the right reasons, maybe not being horrible to women.
Yeah, hopefully not.
And then I'll just kill them all if they're... Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis is also in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And then I feel like I watched something else. I've watched a couple of other things. Because the last time we met up was what? Had I seen Morbius yet?
I think... I want to say maybe... Because
I saw that the 31st, so let's see.
Yeah, because I talked to somebody who had seen it, and I think it was you.
Did we record on the 31st? That was a Thursday? No, because we didn't... No, we did not talk. I saw Morbius.
I assume you think it was awful.
So fucking bad.
Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus I'm hearing.
Like... Holy shit. Like, it was worse than I expected. I expected it to be, like, just dog shit.
Yeah, no, my expectations were pretty low.
And it was somehow worse. But new Richard Linklater movie's out on Netflix. Rotoscoping, back at it again.
Oh, damn.
It's Jack Black's the narrator. It's about, like, growing up in the 60s. But also, this kid, like, he's like, yeah... But the government wanted me to go to space. It's very cute. It's very charming. I loved it. Hinata and Pierre did not, obviously. But I loved it. I also watched a movie called Swing Girls, which is a Japanese film about like a group of like kind of delinquents that they pretty much join like the band class because to get out of doing work, but then they all are like, wait, we like to make music, and it's cute, it's fun. I rewatched F9, Fast and Furious 9, because Pierre and Joe had not seen it, and it's still fun.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
And then I also watched The Lost City, the new. It's a new movie with Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that one.
You know, it was fun enough. You know, Daniel Radcliffe is completely unhinged, and he's the villain. He's like so fucking. He's great. You know, and it was just like a small scale adventure movie. Like, you know, it was just like I miss watching movies like that. This is fun.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand the appeal.
So like, yeah. So that's what I've been up to. I think I had already gotten Kirby the last time we talked. But I beat like the main story of that. I've been playing that still. That's great. And I got Lego Star Wars, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. But there's like games that I can like relax and run around, and Kirby and Lego Star Wars both do that for me.
Yeah.
And then been playing board games, and then been working a lot. And I'm tired. Oh, and we watched Our Flag Means Death. I think we had started that last time, but we finished that. It was delightful. Very good. I really enjoyed it. Yes, that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to, Thomas? He's like, nothing. I played Rocket League for 2 weeks.
Yep, that's it. No, I moved out of my parents' place in with my buddy Matt. So that took up a lot of time, but I did manage to get some stuff done. The week, before I moved, I watched all the One Piece movies and I got like a head cold. So that's why we weren't recording. But so I moved in, and me and my roommate started a One Piece anime rewatch.
Holy fuck, so it'll be done in 5 years?
No, it'll be sooner than that. But it'll be a while still. My guess is probably like 1-2 years.
Oh my god. Do you like watch an episode a day or what? Or like when you both are off, you're just like, hey, you want to watch 2 hours of One Piece? Or?
Yeah, every so often we'll just be like, One Piece, and then we'll watch a couple hours. He'll usually fall asleep and I'll stop after whatever episode and we'll like go back and pick it back up. In the meantime, when I'm not watching One Piece, I've been watching Star Trek. I've been getting back into Star Trek.
Original still? Or?
No, I watched TOS quite a while ago. I've been... last I had watched, I had made it most of the way through Season 3 of TNG, and then I just randomly was like, what if I watch Star Trek Enterprise? So I watched the first 2 seasons of that, and then I burnt myself out. But here I am.
Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah, but here I am back at it again. I watched a little more of TNG Season 3 and I went, what if I watched more Enterprise? So I'm watching through Season 3 of Enterprise.
Can you just go watch Deep Space Nine, please?
No. I'm going to finish Enterprise. I might start and try to watch the first 2 seasons of Discovery here very soon because
there's so many new Star Trek shows.
Yeah, they're really trying. I have
Paramount Plus, and I was looking through it, and I'm just like, there's Star Trek Discovery, there's Picard, there's
Lower Decks,
and then Prodigy, which is like the young adult one, right? And Prodigy is like Lower Decks is like it's like the adult animation one kind of deal.
And then they're doing Strange New Worlds, which follows Pike and his crew. I
saw a trailer, like the trailer for that. I'm like, this is a good trailer.
Yeah, no, that one looks pretty good. It looks like a good balance of like modern. And
it seems like they're like putting a decent budget in these too.
Yeah, because I want to say,
I don't know if I agree with.
Yeah, Star Trek has never been a series that needs a tremendous budget, but I feel like post J.J. Abrams era, they're like, well, we brought in a whole lot of new fans with the CGI of the new movies and stuff, and we can't lose that audience. So we need to keep the special effects up to snuff, because no one's going to want to watch what, like, There are tons of people who would want to watch that old, like, cheesy special effects for sci-fi series, but a lot of people don't. So I think they're going to try to keep the effects good.
Are we going to get the, like, Picard one, but for Cisco?
Good question. Yeah, probably never.
I would love that.
Yeah, it'd be good. I know that they've been bringing Janeway back. Like, I know she's in Prodigy.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to...
I think she's in... Oh, no, you just said Prodigy, yeah.
Yeah. I want to say I heard whispers of them bringing her back in something else, but I'm not entirely sure.
Voyager 2.
Oh, yeah, but
we get lost in space again.
Woo!
But now I'm
It's
like
just the
70.
opposite direction.
Yeah, it's like we back in time. They've never done that before.
No,
It's like, oh no, we don't have any budget. It's set in New York this time.
literally the last episode I watched of Star Trek Enterprise before I came over here was a time travel episode.
They do that so often.
It's a pretty common trope that they do a handful of times per series, it seems. And it's like, yep.
They always do it accidentally, too.
Yeah, it's never...
They're like, whoops, I accidentally fell on the time control.
To be fair, this time it was kind of on purpose.
Oh, okay.
They're in the temporal time war, where basically there's like, I don't know, some shit that's not supposed to be happening to the timeline. So this time traveler comes to John Archer and he's like, you gotta go back in time because the Zindi who destroyed Florida, they're going back in time and they're trying to get the human DNA they need to basically create like a human bomb that'll wipe out your species. And it's like, the show is so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid, but I can't stop watching it. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna watch Discovery and finish Enterprise and like catch up to Strange New Worlds because I want to watch that when it launches. But aside from that, once I do that, I'll finish TNG and then I'll get into Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine, I'm saving it because I know it's supposed to be good, and I need.
Well, it's my favorite, but it also was Eric's favorite.
To my understanding,
it's a lot of people's favorite, or it's a lot of people's least favorite. Like it's pretty polarizing.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll probably like it. From the things I've heard about it, it seems pretty interesting.
I think most of the people that don't like it are just like, they're not on a ship! They're not exploring! I'm like, yeah, I get it, but we did that for like 3.
And I understand, isn't like Cisco, like, I know like little to nothing about it. Isn't he like more angry? And
yeah, he's just a more emotional person. Like, he's interesting. I feel like he's the most interesting, like, lead.
That's good, because while I like I'm the perfect captain type, you know, it only works so many times across so many seasons before I'm like, I kind of want to see something else. So, yeah, I'm expecting that to be a breath of fresh air.
Well, and there's some really interesting characterization with his, like, son, because his son's, like, pretty young in the show, but, like, the show goes on for 7 years, so it's like you see this person, like, grow up and get into kerfuffles and all that. It's like, it's an interesting... It's good.
I very much look forward to it. And Voyager, despite I hear more mixed things about Voyager.
I also really like Voyager, but Voyager was the one I watched a lot, like, growing up. That was the first one I really watched, because my mom really liked Voyager, so I have a lot of, like, fond memories of Voyager. Like, when they turned into the slugs.
Yeah, I've heard about the episode where Janeway turns into, like, a horny salamander or something like that.
I think it was a horny slug. I think everything...
Oh, really?
I think they rapidly evolve into the point where they just become a slug again. Or it's devolve. I can't remember which way they go.
Interesting. But yeah, fucking... Let's see. I don't think I watched any other movies. But yeah, I've watched a fair amount of Star Trek. We're up to the, like... I'd say, like, kind of like through the first quarter of the Arlong Park arc in the anime, so we're making pretty decent time. We watched through most of the East Blue in like within like 3-4 days, so it's not bad. Not bad timing. Could be better, but you know, got jobs and stuff now. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I played a little bit of Lego Star Wars, but not a tremendous amount. And yeah, I think that's all I've really been up to.
Sweet. All right. I think it's time to begin our endeavor with...
We can go chronologically, or we can go...
Just do release.
Release?
That's what I have.
Then it would be Film Z.
Film Z. This is how you remind me of
who I really am. It's not like you to say sorry. But yeah.
Some of these movies or films I remember quite well because I've seen this movie before as well. And Gold I remember quite well. The 2BY one?
3D 2.
3D bye. Don't remember most of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I watched these movies last week. And Stampede is going to be hard to remember because that movie is literally just fan service scenes.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I was like, no, I'm expecting to enjoy it. I'm like,
yeah, but that Usopp scene though.
Yeah, let's save it for Usopp. Let's save it. So yeah, Film Z, is about this guy named Zed.
His name is Zed.
What was his name before? Zephyr? Yeah. Zephyr. He used to be in the Navy, and now he's in the Neo Navy, which is just like his ultra-fascist regime, where he's like, they're not mean enough. We need to murder every pirate.
Yeah, he used to train admirals and basically pretty much all the big names in the Marines, but pirates killed his family, which he was okay with. I mean, he wasn't okay with it,
but he was like, he had his other family to support him.
So he's stuck with the Marines, but then some pirates killed some Marines, and then that pirate later became a warlord. They never specify which pirate it is. So he then decides, he loses faith in the Navy and decides that all pirates need to be eradicated. And, he forms the Neo Navy, and, is basically on a quest to destroy these things called the endpoints, which are basically like volcanoes that exist throughout the New World. Not canonically, just in this movie. But, so he's basically making his way through, but he ends up like shipwrecked after one of them just floating out at sea, and the Straw Hats pick him up and help him out.
Because they're nice.
Yeah, they're nice people. And then Luffy lets it slip that they're pirates, and
like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, so he sets their ship on fire, and he has a member of his crew who de-ages all of them that have commercial appeal to be de-aged, minus Brooke, but there's no noticeable difference with Brooke. Because Robin and Nami get transformed down, and Chopper becomes even cuter and chibier than he usually does, because of course. And it's like, how funny would it have been if, like, Luffy just got transformed to a kid again or something?
The kid at the very beginning was like eating the...
Yeah. But, no, they weren't going to do that. Yeah. Zoro and Sanji almost come very close to kissing in this movie. There's one scene where they're just yelling, like, right in each other's face.
Just kiss already.
It's just like, oh, come on, you guys are so close. It's the scene where he's like, yeah, well, I could kick your ass as a baby. And he's like, well, I'd have to kick your asses in the womb. And they're just like going back and forth. But, so they get de-aged. Sanji's real creepy about Nami.
Yeah.
It's one line, but...
It's one line, but it's such a fucking creepy line.
It's one that's just
actively ruins, like, so much for me. I'm just like...
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty accurate to Sanji, though, because Sanji as a character, I'd say like 98% of Sanji I really fuck with, but then he'll just like do or say something really creepy, and I'm just like, Sanji, stop. And it's
well, the good news is the last like 78 chapters of One Piece have been like one fight, so we haven't had to see Sanji do that.
Yes. But yeah, fucking what's it called? Yeah, so basically, Luffy gets his hat stolen in one of his confrontations with Z. And he's like,
I need my hat.
I need my hat.
Shanks gave it to me.
I, by extension, going to save the world. And I really don't like the world stakes in this. I think it's kind of unnecessarily high. I don't think it needed to be up there.
I think it's funny that he's only like, he's saving the world, but really he's getting his hat. Like, I like the stakes that it's there, but Luffy's literally like, I need my hat.
Oh, yeah.
So I like that they exist because of that, but overall, yeah, I don't care for it being a world-ending endeavor.
Yeah, but I like Zephyr.
Zephyr's really cool. I watched this one dubbed. I think I watched all of them dubbed this time.
So did I.
And I really like the voice acting for Zephyr, too. Yeah, he's just, like, he's a good character. He has a lot of, like, interesting aspects to him. And, like, the final scenes with him are really good.
He does feel... His philosophy definitely feels a little close to Akainu's from, like, what we know of his. With, like, kind of the absolute justice against pirates.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it'll probably be fleshed out in completely different ways. But, yeah, I think he does a pretty good job at, like... being a sympathetic but just kind of cool villain. He's got like a big like mechanical arm that's like made of sea prism stone, so like that makes it really hard for Luffy to fight him. But they get into a hockey battle at the end, so it's like, yeah, cool. And yeah, I think out of all the One Piece fights, this is like the most brawly of them all. Yeah,
which is usually what I like brawly fights usually. Yeah, I really like the fights in this. And I was really digging, that's one thing I was really digging at the beginning of Stampede. Because there's like some pretty brawly fights at the beginning. Then he turns into a horrible flesh monster.
Oh, Stampede. We'll talk about Stampede when we get there.
I do... The de-aging aspect's pretty cringe.
Yeah.
But I do like when Brooke's like, oh! I'm so old again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it was nice not being in my 90s anymore. And they're like, you look the goddamn same.
Yeah. It's just like, we can't tell you dye your hair anyway. But yeah, fucking... Yeah, I really don't have a whole lot to say on this one. It introduced Aokiji's character design. Before he had been revealed again in the canon. Yeah, because there's that scene where he walks up on Doflamingo and Smoker in the manga. That's the first time he appears post-time skip. But yeah, that's common with these movies. Like, Oda will, like, kind of, like, give you, like... He's like, I'll give you a little sneak peek of the canon, and they'll kind of advertise it up that way. And then it'll be, like Stampede with... A lot of the marketing was, like... Oh, this guy was canonically a member of Roger's crew, and they're giving away something related to the One Piece. And really, like, the most accurate information the movie is, like, bestowed upon you was, spoiler alert, the fact that Raftel is actually pronounced Laugh-tail, because you got the full spelling of it. Because a lot of the time when it's, like, in Japanese, you can't tell, but Oda does write in English sometimes when it's, like... in the world of One Piece, and it's obviously on the log pose. So. But yeah, Film Z.
It's the best credit song in any One Piece movie.
I'd probably agree.
It's just so funny, too.
Yeah, it's an Avril Lavigne cover of Nickelback's How You Remind Me. And then they followed up with another Avril Lavigne cover of Bad Reputation. Probably because they were just like...
Was she a fan of One Piece?
I don't think so. I think they probably just had those songs in mind and were just like... Or maybe one of them. And covers are cheaper to license than the actual songs. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were just like, hey, Avril Lavigne covered these two songs that would fit well with the movie. Let's just do a twofer and buy those up and just stick them in. She might be. I don't know. I've never really researched into it, but...
Jamie Lee Curtis at the Oscars, she was like, did you see that? She's like, I want to play Correa. Yeah. She'd be great. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, people have been saying that since they announced the live action.
Or she could be Luffy.
Honestly, like the interviewer suggested, I'd be okay with her playing Robin.
She should play Whitebeard.
That'd be a good casting.
She can play anyone. Jamie Lee Curtis has been in enough bops that she can just choose to be in anything. Yeah. And be anyone.
She can get like the Tilda Swinton like bodysuit action going on.
Yeah. She should play like in Suspiria, she should play like 3 different characters. She should play Buggy.
That'd be a good one. They already announced Buggy's actor though.
That's true.
But yeah.
When's that supposed to come out?
I don't know. It's filming currently, so I assume probably like mid next year.
Okay.
but you never know. But I feel like that's one that's going to need a lot of pre-production or post-production cook time, given how special effects heavy it's probably going to be.
Or they could just find someone with actually stretchy arms.
Well, maybe Inaki Godoy. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the actor playing Luke, maybe he is stretchy.
If not, it might look really gross.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to.
Actually, I hope it looks really gross. Because I feel like it would look really gross in real life.
Yeah.
And so I hope the One Piece show is horrifying to look at.
It, in all honesty, it probably will be.
And I will give it a point for that.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I hope, regardless of how good or bad it is, that we get just multiple seasons for just the lulz.
Yeah. I want to see weird, horrifying CG Chopper.
Yeah, I want to see all the villains. Like, a lot of people have been like, Jason Momoa is Kaido. And it's like,
you're not
it's never going to get there. Maybe if by some random happenstance it manages to become the next Game of Thrones after like 2 or 3 seasons where it gets up and everyone's just like, yo man, I want a piece of that One Piece, but I highly doubt it's gonna get to that level. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
But they're doing the East Blue in 10 episodes, so I don't imagine it's gonna hook people very well. And I don't know if
are they going to be hour-long episodes?
I'm,
like 45
I'm assuming that I hope so.
Yeah.
Given the fact that they're trying to cram that much into that small amount of time. Because I don't think you need that, like, a whole lot to do the East Blue. Like, I want to say it's like 50 episodes in the anime. It's 100 chapters.
50 episodes seems excessive.
Yeah, I think that you could pull it off with, like, 25, like, half-hour episodes. Probably less, maybe, like, even, like, 20.
Mm. But I think 10, like, 45-minute episodes, like, theoretically could. It might feel a little cramped sometimes.
Yeah, it might feel a little better with, like a 12 or a 13, but a 10
and with Netflix stuff, maybe sometimes they do just do, like, oh, these are hour, 10-minute episodes. Like, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in general, even though, like, I do have my gripes with One Piece Film Z, like, that Sanji line actively, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. And some of the stuff, just, like, the de-aging stuff, I'm just like, this doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it's creepy.
It's weird fan service.
Yeah. If it did it to everyone, I'd be fine, but even with that stuff, I still think this is one of the best One Piece movies. I think, like, the action's really good. I really like the main story. I really like that antagonist.
I'd probably say this is my second favorite One Piece movie.
It's one of my favorites. I need to double check my One Piece ranking score, but like, I still really like this. It's just like, this could be my favorite, which is, like, the annoying thing. Like, if they weren't just, like, obnoxious.
Yeah.
I think this is my third favorite. I like the one by
Baron Amatsuri or whatever.
Amatsuri, yeah.
Yeah. That one's a pretty good one. I respect that one a whole lot. I don't know if I'd say it's one of my favorites just for how... it's pretty good. I just feel like the Straw Hats are a little out of character in that one. But I'm sure I could probably say the same about other One Piece movies too. I just don't remember a lot of them, because a lot of them are kind of just... Yeah.
Like, that's why, like, I remember this one, I remember Baron Natsumi, and I remember, like, Gold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you'd give this one a 7?
Yeah. You would give this one 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about 3D2Y. Sucks.
I don't think this one sucks. I don't think it's, like, fantastic, but I think it's pretty decent.
I don't know. I was just like, I don't know what it is. I just feel like every moment of it is just really stretched out. It just feels really long to me. Maybe it's just because, like, maybe I was just really missing the Straw Hats. I was really hoping that this movie was going to be, like, different, like, small vignettes of what all the Straw Hats were doing in this time period.
Just Luffy.
But it's just Luffy, and I don't know. I don't really like the antagonist of this one.
Yeah, he's basically just like a low-tier hockey user. I think he fulfills his role well enough.
Well, what happens in this one?
So basically, it takes place in the 2 years that Luffy's on Amazon Lily training with Rayleigh. And basically, Boa is sending some food over to Luffy. And coincidentally, the warlords are gathering to stop this pirate named World. And because he escaped from Impel Down during Luffy's whole run amok
swaggeroony adventure.
And yeah, basically, he's like, all right, well, what if we just preemptively strike the warlords? Which one's closest? Boa Hancock? Let's go there. So he takes some of her subordinates, and then basically she's like, well, I gotta go get them back. And Luffy's like, well, they were bringing me food, so I'm also obligated to go get them back. And Rayleigh's like, that's probably not a good idea. Like, he's way stronger than you at this point. And Luffy's just like, fuck it. I'm going to be king of the pirates. It'll be fine. So, yeah, he goes on this little adventure. Buggy shows up. So does Hawkeye.
Is this the one where Buggy's has, like, his arms really far and he's really big in this one?
Yeah, he's basically just wearing a cape against his hands, and he's got his head.
He makes like his design in this one.
Legs. But yeah, basically Buggy shows up and he's like, oh, I'm going to steal the credit from Luffy. And then he ends up fighting a cube guy.
The Xbox man.
Boa Hancock ends up fighting.
I feel like I like that guy the most out of everyone.
The cube guy?
Yeah.
I like the
cube guy's weird. I like this.
I like the cube guy.
I cube everything.
And I like the fish man. He doesn't do much. He gets
just like, I'm the fish man.
But I really like his design, and I like that he's blind. But yeah, Luffy and Boa fight the fish man together, and Perona shows up because she's traveling with Mihawk, and she takes out the fish man real quick. And then Luffy and Boa fall into the facility, in the ship, whatever you want to call it, the island-sized ship. One thing about every One Piece movie...
There's always an island-sized ship?
No, but there's never not an element in the movie that feels like it's ripped from something in the actual manga. Because, like, obviously, like, Thriller Bark is, like, the island-sized ship in the manga. And there's, like, other things. Freaking... Like, every movie has one. Like I just said, fucking... The philosophy of Zed is kind of, like, close to what we've seen of, like, Akainu. And yada yada. It happens in all of them. That's one aspect I find kind of annoying about the movies. I wish that they would take a little bit more creative liberties.
Yeah, because it's already, like, non-canon, like, so why not make it fucking wild?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time they bog it down trying to make it feel, like, too in tune with the world. And a lot of the time, I feel like a lot of them also struggle to find the heart in the stories that they're telling. A lot of them, it's like, yeah, these hit the notes of, like, an average One Piece arc, but no emotional investment. And that's kind of true for this one.
Yeah, I think that's my, like, I think that's my biggest issue with this one, is I just don't, it just feels like
there's not a whole lot at stake.
Yeah, dragged out One Piece, like, story, but I also don't care.
Yeah, it's like I like Boa Hancock. Maybe if she was the one at risk, it would have a bit more, like, stake to it, but it's just a couple of her crewmates. Yeah. So it's like, me, the audience member, I don't really care. Yeah. Luffy cares, and I care that he cares, but that's about it. So then
you care by extension. But I don't know what it is. And I usually like Boa Hancock and Luffy's interactions, but in this one, I don't know. It just felt like something was missing to me.
Yeah.
There's a couple moments, like,
little flanderized.
She, like, immediately jumps in and she's like, I'll fucking kill you. Like, that was fun.
I like how she finishes Buggy's fight, but she does it in, like, a smoke screen, so then everybody thinks Buggy won. And I like that this movie also kind of like softly confirms that his old... Maybe the manga does this too. It's been a while since I've read like that section where he gets his new crewmates in the manga, but like his old crewmates like Kabaji and Moji are just like, the captain's bullshitting. Yeah, but just pretend like you're fucking... And I like to think that a good job. Literally everybody on the crew is doing that. But it's like, what a fake. Yeah, go Buggy. Like... yeah, Luffy ends up beating fucking World eventually. He's in a room full of spikes. Very reminiscent of the spike shield from Don Krieg and Baratier. I know, I'll stop. But I just watched that arc, which is why it's relevant. But yeah, you see Luffy develop his Red Hawk technique for the first time in this movie. It's like the first time he's using it. We see him use it for the first time in Fishman Island against Horty Jones. But yeah, this movie is just basically like, yeah, well, we'll take that finisher and we'll just build a whole special around it. And that's one of the things where it's like, yeah, okay, I get it, but you're not really showing me anything new. And technically the movies do this too. Like, you could say the same thing about like Film Gold and Gear Forth, I guess, but it's like, at least it's like, there's more going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this one's decent. I don't like Boa's fight with the, like, one older woman who's, like, eating the bitter leaves to try and, like...
Yeah, I forgot she was in this, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. I don't think it's, like, really bad, but really not a fan. I thought it was really long. I don't think much of it is memorable, and I don't think, like... If I'm watching a special, I want, like, the setting to be exciting. Mm-hmm. And I think they're just on a really boring... Yeah. So I think the setting's really boring in this one.
Also, this movie has one tremendous missed opportunity. And I'm not saying that, like, anything major should have stemmed from it. And honestly, the fact that this is, like, a non-canon special, it's, like, even more so. I can see why they didn't do this. But literally, Luffy and Akainu are in the same, like, general area. And, like, Luffy surely has to notice. There are fucking magma fists raining on the building he's in. But he literally doesn't acknowledge it at all. And it's like... Obviously, I can see them being like, oh, well, we don't want to, like, have the first moment where Luffy, like, kind of realizes he's in the same general area. And, like, how he would process that in a movie that's not in canon, but it's like, then why'd you do it?
Yeah.
Like, you could have easily have sent, like, Fujitora there, who Luffy doesn't know at this point, and it could have been, like, a cute little, like, oh, but I guess maybe there's information about Fujitora. Kobe. Yeah, Kobe would have been a good one.
Kobe's gonna find the One Piece.
Probably not, but, I mean, I guess it's One Piece. Anything's possible.
The final fight's going to be between Luffy and Kobe.
No, I think Kobe's definitely going to be on the side of Luffy.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah. So this one, I think it's okay. You think it's mid, not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would give this one, like, a 4 or a 3?
Give it a 4.
4?
I think you would give it a 5, maybe a 6.
I'd probably go low 6.
Low 6.
But I'm biased. I got the One Piece running through my DNA at this point.
Yeah. Let's talk about One Piece Gold. This one's sick.
Yeah, this is my favorite one.
This one's my favorite one as well.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck, this is so good. Yeah, and I had just watched Stampede.
Yeah, it's
so I'm like, holy fuck.
See, I think this movie is why I hate Stampede so much, because I was like, this is the movie they made before Stampede. And I was like, is the next One Piece movie going to be this good? And then it just wasn't.
It's so funny because this also looks better than Stampede most of the time. Mm-hmm. Stampede has a horrible setting because it's immediately wiped out for just like a gray palette. Like, while this has like the city's fantastic. Like, this is just another like island-sized ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it looks great. I really like the setting. I really like all the different characters. I love the lady that controls luck. Like, she's great. I'm like, this is fun. Usopp's so good in this. Mm-hmm. I love him. So the weird guy who phases through things, like, literally all the characters in this I like.
The little fucking like gambler dude they find in the gold pit.
Yeah, he's so good. He's like, I got this. And he jumps into the. There's so many moments in this. Like, I feel like a lot of the other One Piece movies we've talked about. Well, Film Z has like moments as well, but like the special and Stampede don't have a lot of like great moments I really like, which is weird because Stampede. They're just trying to make a whole movie of moments. Yeah. But it never, because that's all they're trying to do, none of them really stick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This movie accurately captures the heart. There are plenty, like, basically, let's start with the premise of this movie. The Straw Hats roll up to a casino island. It's run by a guy named Guild Tesoro.
Yeah. Zoro's dad.
Yes. And he's... gold sprinkling down when they enter the casino, and it turns out he's got a gold devil fruit. I don't know if that's the official name, but might as well be. So he can control gold. He's a Logia type. And basically that sprinkle of gold that comes in when they first enter is basically like the equivalent of him holding a gun to everybody on the island's head, because everyone's got gold on him. He's got access to all the water lines, because apparently seawater is the only thing that can get it off. And basically just, he ends up, one of his crew members has the luck fruit. She touches Luffy and gets him on a roll. So he gambles really good, and then she takes it away before, like, they lose it all. So as compensation, Guild Zoro basically just abducts Zoro and is like, I'm going to execute him in like 24 hours.
Get the 300 million bounty or whatever.
So they heist. They come across an old friend from the East Blue of Nami's. And there's some drama there. She like betrayed her back in the day. It gets worked over kind of. But yeah, basically it's just like, there's some characters you meet, like, there are these kids who go around and try to sell flowers, and they like work in a diner, and like Luffy witnesses a couple scenes of them basically just like basically being like, we need money so we can buy our freedom, because they're basically just in debt because their parents were in debt. Yeah.
It's like, hey, look, this guy just runs a city of slaves.
Mm-hmm. And you know Luffy, he loves his freedom, so he's just like
only thing Luffy loves more than food is freedom.
So him and Frankie, they go to disable a transponder snail security camera hallway, and then they end up fighting Guild Tesoro and get knocked down into this gold pit where they meet some more just gamblers who have lost hard and ended up down in this like basically just giant like Scrooge McDuck levels of like gold city. Like it's just constant gold. And they're like, it's kind of like the Baratier moment where they're like, we have all this money, but funny. It's meaningless without food or water. And then...
That reminds me of my favorite, one of my favorite Twilight Zone episodes, where that, like, there's a group of, like, go on a heist, and they steal some gold, and they, like, go into a cave that they have to the side, and they have, like, deep sleep machines, like we're just gonna go to bed for like 50 years and it'll be worth so much by then. And the guy like wakes up and like all the other people are like, there was like a cave in and they die, and he like tries to leave and he has all this gold but he has no water, and he's like going and he's like, I just need water, and he like, as like a car finally pulls up, he's like dying, and he like dies in there. He's like, please, I'll give you anything for just some water, I'll give you all my gold, and he dies, and he's like, they're like, whoa, we were going to give him water, but it's like, but why was he trying to give us gold? These things are like fully replicated now. Like it's just like gold had lost all its value.
Yeah.
Classic. That show's good.
Yeah, Twilight Zone's good.
I've been thinking about picking that.
I wouldn't be opposed as long as it's not the Dan Aykroyd movie.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's been died on the set of it. I don't really feel like watching that.
Yeah, it's just oh yeah, I forgot. John Landis directed that short where a couple people did die.
Yeah.
But yeah, also they just remake a bunch of fucking shorts.
Oh yeah, don't they do like 20,000 feet above in the zoo?
They do the one with the kid who's got like telepathic powers and is basically like God. But yeah, fucking yeah. But basically, Luffy, like all these people have given up. They're like, yeah, you know, fuck it. And then Luffy's just like, no,
we don't give up ever. And
yeah, just plunges.
I love Frankie's lines like, he told me you were a betting man. Well, then bet on him. And I'm like, this is sick as hell.
And I love that it gives a little shine to like Frankie because Frankie's like a super underutilized Straw Hat in the main story.
Sure. Somebody came into the shop the other day and was buying Frankie, so they're like, yeah, he's my favorite. And I'm like, I never hear that. I'm like, that's good to hear because I never hear that.
Yeah, I know a few Frankie fans, but for the most part, yeah, he's pretty low ranking on most people's lists, which is sad.
You know, like he's probably pretty low ranking just because he's never like they never give him anything to work.
Yeah, he's got, I'd say like the whole second half of the crew has that issue where it's like they have their initial arc where they
which are usually pretty great too.
Yeah, and then like they haven't done much since.
But it's like, and I'm fucking waiting for the payoff with Brooke.
Yeah, I'm hoping that
I will cry my eyes out.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. But yeah, it's like, I like all of them as characters, but they haven't done much since post-time skip or anything. So it's like, I'm waiting for it. I feel like we're getting closer. I was hoping Wano was going to be that arc, but it hasn't quite been that arc. Mm-hmm. So
I've liked Wano, but it's definitely not what I expected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's still not over. I'm still expecting some payoff to circle back around with at least some characters, but I don't know about those characters. But yeah, fucking, what's it called? This one, yeah, I love it. Luffy tries to like stop this big like propeller fan that's going, and he can't. And then the little guy goes down, and then all of his friends go down. They're just like, I just want to be free.
Yeah, and they all like jump on the fan, and they're just like holding it against the wall. They're like, we're gonna stop it, and they do. And it's
and then fucking Luffy comes out. Basically, big moment where it seems like they were double crossed by Nami's old friend.
I don't even know what was her name.
I don't know. She's Nami with blue hair.
Literally.
Like,
I think that's one issue I have with it. It's just like, why do they draw all the women the exact same? Yeah. Oda, please go outside.
In this case, it makes sense because she's literally just Nami too.
Yeah.
Like, her character and everything. But, yeah, she, so they think that she double-crossed them because they were like, we're going to open this vault. And they open up the vault, and it turns out to be a door to the stage where they're going to execute Zoro. And they're like, Guild Zoro's there. And he's like, got you. And you get like a 1-minute flashback of his where you see that he used to be poor and like entertaining people. And then he fell in love with a slave, and he tried to save up enough money to buy her, but he couldn't. And then he became a slave.
Yeah. It's like, Pierre was like, that's a weird scene. But I like it. I like flashbacks with like villains that are like only for the audience. Mm-hmm. Like, I like that this characterization is not seen by like the crew. That these people do have like inner workings.
Yeah, because it wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, it wouldn't change anything. But it's also like showing that to the audience is like cool. It's like this is interesting. You don't have to show it to like the other crew members. You don't have to show it to the people fighting him. Like it's just an interesting, neat addition to his character.
Oh, for sure. And they do the same. They do kind of the same thing with Zephyr in Film Z. They have like Garp give like an exposition dump of his backstory, and they're both like really short.
But they're both really effective, too.
Yeah, they get the point across. You know everything you need to know about Guild Zoro after that one, like, 1.5 long flashback. And it's like, okay, cool. And yeah, basically, Luffy comes up, and he does his... another trend that these movies like is having the big giant villain for Luffy to face, because he does like this gold mech kind of giant thing.
I like this one substantially more than the next.
I agree. It makes much more sense here.
This one looks good. Look at this one.
And yeah, Luffy basically just goes up and he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. Decks him in the face and saves the day, frees the people, and gets the fuck out of there. And yeah, it's... Oh, wait. He beats up Gilderoy, then a bomb starts to go off. And they're like, oh! And then they all leave. And then it turns out Nami person's like, I'm going to stay behind and I'm going to sail the ship in the opposite direction so the explosion doesn't hurt you guys while you're sailing away. And it turns out it was fake. And
she's like, I have the whole city now.
Yeah, she's got all of the gold that was there. So it's like, oh, great. I'm sure no one's going to have a hard time finding that. I'm sure everyone's going to have such a hard time finding that giant city of gold. But yeah, it's, this is my favorite One Piece movie. I think it out of any One Piece movie, it captures just all the elements very well.
Yeah, it has some really good, like, character moments. It has the heart, I think. Mm-hmm. It has some really great fight scenes. I love that fight between the Luck Lady and the other three. They're like, oh god, we're dying. And they keep getting just wrecked by the coin. And he's like, I got an idea, guys. And he just starts sprinting away. And they're like, he left us. And then he comes back and he fucking shoots her with a fucking lottery machine. But it's in a bag. And she's like, nothing can stop me. And he just shoots a small little, like, grenade at her. And she explodes. She's like, how could this happen? And the bag falls off of the lottery machine and it shows the lottery. She's like, no, and it just shows all sevens. And it's just like, that's so good.
Yeah.
And one scene that I loved, the like first like lottery thing they do is they do that race. And that race is so much fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, it reminded me of Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. And I'm like, this is sick. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was hoping that it was going to be the whole movie, too. I would love, like, a One Piece, like, a racing movie.
I want both the fourth One Piece movie, Dead End Adventure, and Stampede.
Yeah.
Kind of build you up on the premise, like, big pirate race.
And then it's like, oh, here's 5 minutes of it.
Yeah. So
I was like, no, let's have a fight.
Can we get just a full movie that's just like a boat race with this?
And then, like, for the last 10 minutes, you can do your fight. Whatever.
Yeah. Save it for the end. Like, but... Yeah, fucking... Yeah, I like the race. I like the little turtles that are, like, fucking powering the cars. And they're also slaves, so when... At the end...
What were they trying to buy?
At the end, when Luffy saves the day, they're just like, yeah! It's so great. But yeah, fucking... Spandam shows up. So does that fucking ramen guy from the Puffing Tom arc. Mm-hmm. But yeah, fucking... There's a couple callbacks. I think Sabo fights Lucci in this, because I think there's like a Buster call at the end. The whole Sabo, Lucci stuff, unnecessary. Yeah. It was strictly for trailers.
I was like, look, it's Sabo!
Yeah.
But this one, I'm like, oh no, it's Sabo, because it's voiced by Vic Mignogna. But the other one, in Stampede, the best part is he's voiced by Johnny and Bosch. I'm like, it's the cool Sabo!
Yeah, from now on, he's voiced by Johnny and Bosch.
That's
only Film Gold and episode of Sabo, which is a special that condenses down the Dressrosa arc through the point of view of Sabo. It's not...
Is it good?
No, it's literally just like showcasing his scenes. Like,
that's because that actually sounds pretty cool. Like, a good like.
No, there's no like material where it's like, oh yeah, no, this is what Sabo saw in this scene. There's like a little bit, maybe like here or there, but it's nothing substantial worth a special.
Annoying.
Yeah, but yeah, that's Vic Mignogna voices in there too. But yeah.
We've been watching Soul Eater a little bit. And he actually voices the only character in Soul Eater that, like, makes sense for him, because he's a horrible cretin and creep. I don't know if you've seen Soul Eater.
I've seen, like, the first, like, 3 episodes.
But the, like, main girl in it, her dad is voiced by Vic Mignogna. And he's just
dad the Grim Reaper?
No, that's Death the Kid's dad is the Grim Reaper. But he's the Grim Reaper's weapon. Because there are Meisters and there are weapons in that show.
Yeah.
That show's better than I remember. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Because there was a time I really liked Soul Eater, and then I tried to rewatch it, and I'm like, oof, because there is some pretty bad sexualization of minors in it. Mm-hmm. But now I'm rewatching it, and after you get over some of those humps, I'm like, no, this show is pretty good.
Yeah, I watched the first few episodes. It seemed promising. I could never, like, make it past, like, the first few.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I probably will never read the manga, because I've looked at some of that, and I don't like the art style for the manga.
That's fair. Yeah, I flipped through some of the ones at the shop, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, same with Fire Force. I like the anime for Fire Force, but...
Hinata just watched Fruits Basket, the newer one. Mm-hmm. And I watched some of it, and it seemed pretty good. We had originally watched one episode, and the first episode, I think it just starts us off slow, because then later on, I'm like, holy shit, this is good. And it's, like, pretty intense, like, the drama in it. But then, like, I went on Hulu after that, and it was, like, recommended for you, and it's Fruits Basket, but it's original. And it's, like, a fucking jump scare, because it looks so because it's early 2000s. I'm like, oh, God, it's just the giant eyes. I'm like, oh, no!
Yeah. Yeah, that animation style back then was real hit or miss.
I feel like it's specific, like, late 90s to, like, 2007, too. Because I feel like before that, it was better, too.
Yeah, back when they were running on cell animation, it was still pretty good. And then, like, they hit... It's, like, around, like, late 90s, like, 97 to, like, 2002. There's, like, a particular, like, system they were using, and then they, like, upgraded or something. And then, yeah, eventually, like, I don't know, like 2007 or whatever, they made stuff started broadcasting in HD. And started looking a little bit better. But yeah, fucking Film Gold. Very good. Very good. You would give it like an 8.
I would. No, you know what? I'm giving it a 9. I was giving it an 8, but after talking about it, I'm like, there's so many fucking things I like about this movie. Yeah, there's so many fun moments.
It's funny. It's got great stakes, great art.
Yeah.
It's got like, it's a parody genre, which is great for One Piece, because most One Piece arcs are just like parody genres, or genre parodies. This one tackles heist movies, which I don't think that there's any like just straight like heist movie parodies in One Piece that I recall. So it's like, yeah, I like it. There's Prison Break with like Impel Down, but that's about it. Yeah. But yeah, I would also give this
a 9.
Oh no, I would give it an 8.
Okay,
yeah.
I was thinking you were 8, but yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 9. I really like this one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Stampede. It sucks. I don't actually think it's fine.
Yeah, you sound like me last week, or not last week, when the last time we met, when I was like, yeah, it's not great.
It's
when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, it's flashy.
Yeah, I don't
think but
so. They go to like a big pirate event. It's like a pirate party, and they're like, "Don't tell the cops." And then, but it's the guy from Roger's ship is here, and he's gonna kill everyone.
Bullet, is that his name?
Bullet, he's nuts.
Oh, yeah. So,
Bullet, is that what was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was Bullet. Yeah, but yeah, Bullet just beats up everyone, and they get into a big fight. For an hour and a half.
Yeah, basically, everyone's gathered because it's rumored that a big, like, Gold Roger treasure connected to the One Piece is there. So everyone's, like, showing up. Buggy gets it. They're on, like, a sky island because, you know, gotta have that fucking reference to the main series. Law is like running around from the Buggy Pirates.
Yeah.
And it turns out he's come across the conspiracy that is Bullet is there. Douglas Bullet. Mr.
Douglas Bullet. At least he's got a cool name.
Yeah. But, yeah, so there's basically fights like Supernova's there. Some of the warlords and stuff are there. Mihawk shows up just to like one up Zoro in a scene. He's like, all right, I'm leaving. Boa Hancock's there. She fights with them a little at the end. But yeah, there's a bunch of characters who are there. They're not relevant. They don't do anything. Yeah. They might have an action, like they might kick or punch once or twice, and
but it's mostly just, hey, Luffy's fighting and he keeps dying, and then he gets up and he fights again, and he gets up and fights again. But it never actually feels like he's like getting stronger for any particular reason. He's just like, no, I gotta keep going. But not like his friends aren't really in danger. He's like, it's just
his King of the Pirates reputation.
Like, I gotta be my best.
Yep.
And Douglas Bullett's also like, I gotta be the man. Like, it's just, he's just the exact same. Yeah. Except he's a dick.
He's like pure muscle villain.
But he's like, no, I have to be the best. But he's like, but I can't rely on anyone. So I'll kill my friends. And Luffy's like, I'll save my friends. And that's why he wins.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, he doesn't win. Usopp wins.
That's true. Usopp has the best, like, I think this movie kind of sucks.
Yes.
Like, this is one that as I talk about it more, I'm getting... Because this was also the first one I watched, so I think I was like, oh, I'm excited for One Piece! And now that I'm talking, like, oof, it's kind of rough.
I honestly think this is probably one of the worst One Piece movies. And I've seen all of them. There's a lot of them that are forgettable. And this is one of them. Mine is...
But that Usopp stuff is actively so good, too.
Yes.
And it's like...
So
it's a travesty that it's like in a movie this bad.
Yeah, it's so good that it has me worried that whatever is going to happen in the manga might not be as good. I have faith in Oda. I'm sure it will be. But like...
Because Usopp's the best One Piece character.
I won't say that, but Usopp is a goated character. He's a great character. I love Usopp.
You're right. The Sniper King is the best stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a scene where Luffy's down and out. He's going through the fires, and Usopp, who is also down and out, but he's still already conscious.
Yeah. He's like, get away from my captain.
Yeah, and he's like carrying Luffy over his shoulder like a burning pillar falls onto him, and he's like, no! And it's so good. And then he shoots a couple things at Douglas Bullet, and Douglas is like, bitch, why even? But then at the very end, when Luffy is fighting him, and it seems all hope is lost, suddenly a bunch of plants start to grow on Douglas Bullet and break his armor.
Yeah, because they were, like, triggered by strong impacts.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so Usopp saves the day. Yeah.
That's, like, literally the only worthwhile thing. Like, I think some of the fights look fun. I think the brawl at the beginning, I'm like, this is cool. Why is this happening 20 minutes in? Why do we have an hour and 10 minutes left of the movie? Mm-hmm. It's like, uh-oh. He's turning into a horrible CG monster.
Yeah, and it looks so bad.
Yeah, I was like, maybe this is like, he's supposed to look like, otherworldly. But I'm like, maybe if it was an alien, I'd be more okay with it. But I'm like, this is just a guy. And how is he doing that? What fruit does he have? What is it? The combine fruit or something?
Some fruit that's way too close to kids, but not technically kids' devil fruit. So they had to fucking...
The metal fruit?
Something like that. Douglas.
Doug Bullet.
Devil fruit. Let's see. He's got the Gasha no Mi, a paramecia type that allows him to disassemble inanimate objects.
Was it the machine fruit? No.
Let me look up the English name for it. Clank,
that's right.
Oh, I didn't catch that one as well, because I don't care about Douglas Bullet, but Mr. Doug. Yeah, it allows him to combine inanimate objects at will. Sounds a little bit like Wapple's devil fruit, almost.
Which he shows up.
Yeah, I mean...
Everyone shows up.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have the guy who makes the rarest metal on Earth to show up. That is true, by the way, in the One Piece world. After the events of Drum Island, he ends up creating a new type of metal called, like, Wapple metal, and it becomes, like... That's how he gets, like, his whole, like, second kingdom. But, yeah. He's gonna be back in the One Piece future. Can't wait.
Dude, are you a fan?
No, I hate Waff. I don't like him. I might have found him tolerable, but like I think his fight goes on for way too long in Drum Island. He definitely strikes me as like the Celestial Dragon type, where it's like Luffy should just be able to one-shot this guy, but for whatever, he's just running around.
He's like, ah.
So it's like,
where did we go?
Pretty much. So it's just like you're stuck with him for a little longer, and then
Oh, guess who shows up in this movie? Whatever that fucking guy is from the arc that I don't like.
Oh, Foxy?
Yeah, Foxy shows up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, great.
I should have made you watch
It's Foxy. Is there a Foxy movie?
There's a special called Adventure of Nebulandia, which is just a Davy Back rematch with the Straw Hats. And Foxy. I have not watched that one. I own it, but I haven't watched it.
It's probably really good.
It's probably like the best One Piece.
It's probably, yeah.
It's probably gonna be
feel like I would
slightly
at least
better than
like-
Film Gold.
Maybe Davy Back, like in animation, I would like a little better. But when I say that, I'm like, because maybe in a movie format, because I feel like
in a movie,
how many episodes was the Davy Back arc?
I don't know.
Was it like
But
20?
They doubled it because literally in the manga it's like they just fight the once, but in the anime, they basically Luffy and all of them, they succeed in getting their crew back, and then Foxy's like, "You want to go again?" And Luffy's like, "Hey, yeah, sure, why not?" And yeah, they basically just like kind of sprinkle out the canon ones through like the 2 Davy Back fights. But it's like, yeah, they double the amount. And then they bring Foxy back for another little filler that leads into Aokiji's introduction. Just stop. No one likes Foxy. Stop.
There's gotta be someone in the world favorite character Foxy.
His stupid little laugh. But yeah, Foxy exists in this movie for a second. At least it's a funny little bit where he's like, "Help us," and they're like, "Okay, fuck off." Like, yeah, basically all of the world's strongest, minus the actual world's strongest characters, are in this. So you got none of the emperors.
Yeah. Not even Shanks. I thought maybe in this one.
No, Shanks is really big for the promotional material for Film Red, which is coming out in August.
Yeah. I would assume that the movie would be about him if it's called Film Red, or
I highly doubt it.
Or something to do with
Watch, he's going to be in like 30 seconds of the movie. It's probably just going to be teasing the fact that they're going to be meeting soon. I almost want to say like, I'd be like, maybe like Shanks comes in like the Wano epilogue or something, because it's like I find it weird that they would release a movie under the promotional guise of like Shanks. Yo,
I actually wish that the One Piece movies were about other characters.
No,
like,
I mean,
a Shanks movie would be sick. A Sabo movie would be great.
I would probably give up one of my testicles legitimately for a Buggy movie. Like, that would be great.
He should be in the race movie.
Buggy's Big Adventure.
Buggy's Final Showdown.
Oh, dude. They could. Like, honestly, I hope
What
that
if the One Piece show comes out? It's just about Buggy.
That'd be good. I can't wait for more Buggy in canon, but that's a different conversation. Stampede. Stinky. Not good.
Stinky Stampede into the doo-doo trash can. I don't think it's like awful, like terrible, but because I think I'm raising the bar so much just from how good that Usopp stuff was.
The Usopp stuff is very
like,
good.
That's like S tier shit right there.
Yeah, but like it's like that much of the movie, and the rest of the movie is just like the most bare bones plot for setup, and then it's just
most of the fights really bad. The only fight, like, I like it when they're just brawling with him. Like, it's cool. It's fun.
It's like that type of fight that's like so flashy that it leaves no impact. So it's just like,
when it doesn't really feel like there's any like power to these punches. He's just like, he's too strong. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
But not in like a fun way.
No, it literally feels like a Dragon Ball Z villain ported into a One Piece movie, which I don't like. it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It kind of, like, I like how it handles it in canon. Like, Kaido is probably, like, a character like that, but Kaido is also kind of a more well-developed character. Yeah. So, it's like, But, yeah. Stampede. Not good. You would give this a 3.
I think I'm going to give it a 4. Yeah. I think you would give it a 3. 2?
Yeah, dude. It's a non-movie.
No, that's fair. Nothing. I get it.
And I can handle that sometimes, but like I feel like it takes
I think like I said, but this was the first one I watched of these 4, so I was like, and I hadn't watched anything One Piece, so I was like, it's all my friends, and I was actually okay. Like in the beginning, I'm like, oh, look at all these people, and I'm like, look at all these people. They just keep coming.
This is the second to last one I watched. I watched 3D 2Y, then I watched The Special Heart of Gold, which leads into Film Gold. It has nothing really to do with it.
You thought it was shit.
It's not good. It's basically just like, imagine a filler where Luffy goes on a treasure hunt with Angelica from the Rugrats.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah. They go, there's like a big city inside of an animal's stomach. Gee, I wonder where I've heard of that one before. Yeah. And the villain who, like, you see a glimpse of him in Film Gold. The guy who, like, abducted Nami and her friend back in the East Blue. He's, like, the main villain of that. Oh. He's, like, working under Gilda Zoro. And, you see the phase guy, the cat guy. He's in it.
Oh, that's a classic guy. I remember I was watching Gold and I, like, looked down and I looked back up and he was just on screen. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
That scene where he, like, phases through the elevator and Luffy just without a beat goes like, ew, gross, weird, what's that? And it's like, dude, you're a rubber person, shut up.
Literally.
Like, but yeah, One Piece. You can't live with it, can't live without it.
All right. So I have something for next week, but we should get back to rolling. So we'll do 2, 3, or 4. We'll watch out of the bag. Let's do one at a time. I'll just tell you guys I don't want to move the camera. Okay, we got a 9. Okay. So there's a movie in theaters right now called RRR, which is an Indian action film that I've heard is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I think it stands for Rise, Roar, Revolt. But it's by a director called S.S. Rajamouli. I hope I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly, but he did a duology in like 2015, and I think they came out 2015, 2017, called Bahubali. And we're going to watch those.
Okay.
So Bahubali, the beginning, and Bahubali 2, the conclusion.
I thought you were going to suggest I have to go to a movie theater this week. I was like,
no. I know you don't like doing that, so I've almost never said anything that's in the theater.
Fucking...
Especially during...
I might go see The Northman, though.
Oh, fuck. I'm so excited.
Very soon. It's like, what, next 2 weeks?
22nd. I think that and Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent come out the same day.
Oh, really?
I might see that as a double feature.
Yeah.
They're both on Netflix. Just so you know, with a lot of like Bollywood and Indian films, they are long. They're both 3 hours.
Okay.
The first one's 2 hours, 40 minutes. The second one's 2 hours, 50 minutes. But
okay.
Just so you know. We haven't watched, I think, any Indian films for the podcast. Or have we watched anything? Oh, we watched The Hero. Mm-hmm. Didn't like that one.
No, I was hoping...
I remember when he fell into the money. That was cool.
Yeah. But the rest of it...
I don't remember anything about it. They're on a train.
He's on a train. I remember a scene where he's like sitting across from a woman and I think they're talking about money. But yeah, it's been a minute.
I know this director also made a movie about a guy who I think he dies and he becomes... He gets reincarnated as a fly.
Are you talking about the director that you picked for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This one, he comes back as a fly and tries to get revenge.
That's an
Also, I know all these movies will have a lot of CG.
yeah. I kind of expect.
And I've seen some of the CG from it. It's pretty wonky, but it's very fun. I'm expecting to like these movies quite a bit. I know they're pretty highly rated. I don't know how you're going to feel about them.
I'm sure I'll struggle with the runtime, but I'm sure. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, but like I said, we haven't watched anything like this. I think it's good instead of just let's watch one day because we could just watch that over and over again. But it's good to swim around.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, we'll watch that. We'll see you guys next week, and toodaloo!